Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the Amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you sinned safely. I did a lot of sinning, so much sinning. I was alone, scared, sinning. Well, I wasn't all alone. Anyway, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We've got a special guest today. Well, I've got my co-hosts, Darante and Rion. They're going to be joining me. I hope they had a wonderful weekend. I haven't asked them yet. Because I'm rude, apparently. According to Ron, rude.
Yeah.
And we've got a newbie. We've got a new person joining us today, especially our first guest on the new Daily Atheist Morning Show. We'll be right back and we'll meet this new person. Some of you already know him. How did I not know? I don't know how I did.
Rude.
We'll meet him because I'm rude.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you're possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheist.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, all right, here we go. We got some new people. Check this, our new person. Check this out. We have got Captain DadPool joining us this morning.
Hey,
Ricky, Captain DadPool, thank you for joining us. Of course, we have DaranteLaMar and Ryan Cultastic, wonderful co-host, joining us this morning. We got a new setup on the show. I hope it looks good for you folks. I hope everything's working okay and you can hear us all.
It's sexy.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing?
how did I get here?
Good morning.
I was just on the toilet and suddenly I teleported in front of my camera.
You're a black hole. And of course you wind up here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But of course.
Oh, man.
But of course,
Black magic.
DadPool, you're popping our guest cherry.
Oh, man. I love
I
your
know.
Yes.
Yeah. You're our first guest on the show.
ahead.
Thank you for joining us. Let me real quick say hi to people out in the chat. Raven is back.
Raven.
Good morning.
Chat.
Always check around your blind spots when Raven's around. I'm just saying. Good morning, Raven. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing? John Hudson. Jess is here. Good morning, Jess. I found the other day, Jess is like, I need a bio. I was like, I will get that to you today. 4 days later, I'm like, bum, 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 bum. I'm a bad person.
Yes.
I'm a bad, but she forgives me. I think she forgives me. We prayed. So good morning, everyone. Thank you all. Sumami's even here.
Hilarious.
All the cool kids are joining us this morning. All
Yay.
right. So, we've gone through our normal little things. Yes. And
The cool kid.
I want
That's
to,
me.
that's you. That was you. That's where I was going to go next.
I'm a cool kid. Not shit.
Good morning. Hey, do you mind, just in case they don't know, would you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, because apparently you had no idea who I was.
No idea.
I was like, I don't even know this. I'm kind of a big deal.
Do you know who I am?
My house smells of rich mahogany. Anyway. I go by Captain DadPool, 86 on TikTok. I have almost 500,000 followers. I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't done much with it lately.
Yes.
I interviewed a bunch of biblical scholars. I make educational content, breaking down the Bible, what it says, how it got here, the early church, things like that. That's what I went to school for, and still something I'm weirdly a nerd about. Other than that, I just hang out in atheist spaces, and I like to advocate for atheism and free thinking and help people with deconstructing as much as I can, because that is such a messy process. And not everybody does it very well or knows how to do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, there's no handbook.
No, there's not.
There's not now. How long have you? Let me pop back over to you. How long have you been an atheist? Because I just kind of caught a glimpse of your show the other day. I'm going to pop back to us here on the screen. Caught a glimpse of the show the other day. I say the other day, last night. The dude's like, "Hey, can I? I'd like to be on the show. It'd be cool." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Who is this guy?" I remember somebody. This is trust me. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. I remember somebody. It was somebody in Discord was telling me Captain DadPool was cool. It was a female. All I remember was a female. So I went through
I told you.
A girl thinks I'm cool. What?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I went looking at it. I was like, okay, so I checked out your stuff, and then I found out that you were actually you're a smart person in the ways of the Bible.
More or less. I try.
Yeah. So tell us about how that came about.
Yeah. So I grew up Christian. I didn't really get into it super hard until high school when I was invited to a youth group. It's usually the case. It had a rock band, the fog machine, the strobe lights, and all that, and so I was hooked.
Yeah.
And so went very regularly. Joined the drama team. Went on missions trips. Did street evangelism. Super into it, and I was obsessed with the Bible. I read it all the time, and I started getting recognized as someone who knows the Bible really well. So they started putting me in leadership positions and having me teach Sunday school and preach some sermons, things like that. And then
you just kind of fall into this, don't you?
Yeah, kind of.
I do.
I mean, whether it be real, I've heard the rest of the story. It's like you just showed up and they started, hey, this guy knows the book. Let him teach. And now you're like, you show up and they're like, hey, this guy doesn't know doesn't agree with the book. Let's have him teach.
Yeah,
crazy story.
So much different now, though.
Well, carry on. Go ahead.
You can teach preach the Bible really well, and now it's like you can take apart the Bible really well.
Polar opposite now.
I love it.
Putting your education to good use.
Yeah, and at some point, I had elders in my church. I was a member of the Assemblies of God, which is a charismatic Pentecostal. So speaking in tongues, prophecy, all that. So I had like elders coming in, like multiple of them, and they speak the word over me. Like the Lord has given me a word. Like he wants you in full-time ministry, and say like he wants you to teach his word, all that typical show Darante knows. And so I was like, oh, okay. And of course, I was young and dumb and desperate for attention, or affirmation, I guess is a better word. I was like, yeah, I'll dedicate my life to teaching the Lord. I am so blessed. So I went to Bible college, could only afford 1 year. And then I joined the military for 3.5 years. And then I used my GI Bill and went back to school and pretty much started all over. So graduated from that and left with more questions than I had answers. Yeah, it's like day one of Bible college, they tell you forget everything you learned in church about the Bible. Yeah. It's all forget all of it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like I went in there like cocky as shit. Like this is gonna be easy. No, bro. I know the Bible.
I got this.
And then they get there and like, yeah, no, you fucking don't. You don't know shit. Okay. And they're right. So like, yeah, the farther along my education, I got my degree was in biblical theology. I became really interested in apologetics. I wanted to be like the guy, like William Lane Craig was like my hero at the time.
I'm sorry.
I know, right? I was so.
You'll be okay.
Better.
There's a recovery program. We have therapists standing by.
I can heal.
Yeah, like
she can heal. She's a healer.
Yeah, and like learned Greek, learned how to read and translate the Bible in its original text, like all that shit. And the more and more I learn, it's like this is sounding like bullshit.
Yeah,
like, it's more and more sounding like bullshit. And sometime after I graduated, I stopped like identifying as Christian because I was like, you got to kind of. There's certain things like let go of like a lot of things. Like, yeah, that I never believed the Earth was 6,000 years old.
Mhm.
I stopped, believing in Genesis and Exodus, and then then came Exodus, and was like, Exodus, okay, maybe that didn't happen. The genocides in the Old Testament, those didn't happen. No problem. I have no problem believing that didn't happen. And then we got to Jesus, and it's like the Gospels weren't written by eyewitnesses, which is what we were always taught.
Yes.
And that was a huge one for me. And when I got into apologetics, apologetics is the defense of the faith, like intellectually being able to defend what you believe, which is just a fool's errand. But they try.
100.
Yeah.
A lot of money in it, but
Yes.
you don't have to be right all the time. You just have to sound right
Yeah.
or act like
Hey,
it.
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be a lot of money in atheism yet. I'm waiting though. I'm waiting. I've got my hand out. George Soros, baby.
Where you at?
Yeah,
DadPool.
where's my Soros check? I'm still waiting.
I do have a question that does make me wonder. So you, obviously intelligent person, were able to pick up, oh, now that I'm learning more, things aren't adding up. But like you said, there is money in this business. How many, I'm just asking you a question, obviously. It's just whatever. How many people do you think are just like you, getting to that point where they realize, like, oh, something's not adding up, but there's money. There's money in this, and then their hills, and continue to stay down that path because they know they have everybody in the palm of their hand. They can play them.
There's definitely a lot of that. But I think I don't know if it's a bigger percentage or not, but I think most are just genuinely believe what they believe. Like they're indoctrinated. That's where I was looking for.
Yeah.
They're generally indoctrinated. Like we had to go to chapel every single day for an hour, 5 days a week, on top of being a member at a church outside of school. So they force feed you Jesus constantly, and there's nightclubs you're supposed to be a part of. Like it's just, and it hits a lot of people. It hits, and they just can't think outside of that, frame of reference.
They must use a lot of confirmation bias in their research, because I did kind of do that at first. Like I was like, oh wait, this has to be the right answer. And I was looking for that answer, but I recognized, like, oh, this isn't the answer I was looking for.
Yeah. And people just don't ask enough questions. Like when I was doing my, in my apologetics class, we talked about the Enuma Elish, which for those who don't know is about 1,000 years older than Genesis, and it's almost the same story as the Genesis account.
There's some kind of music coming in. Can you all hear that?
I do hear it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Can we?
Anybody have-
I might.
No.
Okay.
It's very soft, but I hear it coming in.
It was muffled or something. Yeah. Good. Better. Thank you.
It's from Jesus, Sumami said.
It's
odd. It's the
that song Angel in the background.
Little singing.
Anyway, so he brought up the Enuma Elish. He's like, skeptics will tell you that this is older than Genesis. And what you do at that point, they were instructing us, what you do is you question the carbon dating methods of those texts.
Yes.
And I was like, and I raised my hand. I was like, oh, how do we question the carbon? Like, I don't know anything about carbon dating. Can you be more specific? Like, and my instructor was like, no, I don't really know either. Oh, so you're not an expert on carbon dating either. So who the fuck are you to
To question it?
You're telling us to question these, and that's how the game goes. Like you look at all the apologist circles, they just say shit that they can't back up.
Yeah.
And there's all too many people who are willing to eat it up.
Yep.
I was always like, what was it Matt Dillahunty says? I want to believe more true things than
Yes.
So yeah, like I want to believe as many true things as and as little false things as I possibly can. Paraphrasing. Well, yeah, like I was always like willing to adjust my position according to the data. I always did that. And so like I couldn't at a certain point I was like, I don't think I'm Christian anymore. Like I can't. Yeah. I was still a member of a church. I was still playing in like a worship band. I just kind of kept it to myself. And that lasted for 2 or 3 years, I guess. I was in that kind of deconversion purgatory.
Yeah.
And one day, I had like I was in my car, and for whatever reason, I was like crying, like really like ugly crying.
Yeah.
And I prayed for the first time in like 2 or 3 years, and I was like, God, this is exactly what I said. I was like, God, I need you to show me in some way that you're still there.
Yeah.
So I know you're not gonna, you know what it would take to make me, to answer. I'm not asking for a huge miracle.
Yeah.
You know what it would take to make me believe that, or to continue believing in you. And the silence afterwards was just deafening.
Wow.
Deafening silence. And like I stopped crying. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, I'm good. Like I was fine.
Wow.
It was like a peace that came over me. I was like, I'm good. I don't believe in God anymore. I'm good. I actually have the date tattooed in Roman numerals on my wrist. I want to see.
I did not know that.
That is dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
January
That's a
10th.
tribute. That is a tattoo with meaning.
Yes.
Yeah, January 10th, 2018. 2018.
Man.
That's smart. I like that.
And like I toyed with like other like religion, like I looked into Buddhism for like all of half a day. And then I was like, why am I trying to replace something that was never supposed to be there in the first place?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fine. I'm totally good with not believing God and having a religion.
Yes.
I don't need anything. Why am I can just do this. I can just do life like this now. I don't need a supplement.
You don't need a fail safe.
Nope.
Yeah.
Really,
Man.
you just create your own future instead of worrying about like, am I going to live forever? Am I going to be in heaven? I do know I have this life here on earth that needs to be lived, and I have children that need me here. So how about I just live for that?
That's funny because that was one of the things that I definitely thought about after deconversion is just like, oh, I don't really care about heaven or hell. Like it really doesn't matter to me at all. And I think Carl Sagan was one of the people who said it best. It's like I was dead like billions of years before I got here. It's not going to matter to me afterwards.
It is a weird thought. It does get me sometimes like, wow, but there really was billions. I have no idea how long the existence was before me, the infinity that was there before I was. And I was fine then.
Yep.
So I am certain that I will be fine a billion years from now.
I'm good.
Living luck. Yes. I want to say good morning real quick to I see a new face in the chat. It's Ryan. I saw it. The chat moves. Moves quickly. There's another Ryan in the chat. Good morning, new Ryan in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Different
Ryans.
Nancy.
And I see Patty is in here.
Nancy,
good morning, Patty. Good morning, Nancy.
Peter Fender's here. The trouble twosome. I mean, these are some bad actors.
Troublesome twosome bad actors.
Thanks, Raven.
Good morning, Raven. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Raven says, now the fourth best mustache on the show, Darante, Ricky, Ollie, then you. Yes. Love having the new people on the show. Well, I want to mention Ricky's a guest. He may or may not come back later. Ricky's a guest.
Depends on how we perform today.
We might offend him today. Like we might scare him away.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no offense to nothing. It's just I just woke up last night and I met this guy just yesterday. I mean, I have no idea. I just but he's really cool and all that. And he wanted to come on the show. I was like, hey, let's have him on the show and let's have a guest.
I've had a few conversations with Captain DadPool, so I am familiar with this brand of coolness.
We've had good talks.
Awesome. I did not realize that. Great.
Yeah, Darante can spit some facts, man.
Oh, he really can. Right? I tell you. And he gets in that mode so quick,
Yep.
That preach just comes out. It's natural.
Right.
It does. One of the things that's good for, I mean, he can just rip it off like that. And then I'll pop him up on the screen and he'll start going on about himself. And then tomorrow he can pull that down and throw that up as content on his channel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was roasting you on your show last night. in the chat. I was like, Darante looks like he would destroy me in a game of golf.
Yes, you did do that to me last night. He took me straight to back advance, man. I was like, oh, snap.
4.
You know, I do got a pretty decent stroke. You know, I got a nice swing. So, you know, we get out of it.
I've never played golf ever in my life, so that's another reason you would beat me.
I played one time in my life, and that was in high school. And interestingly enough, it was when I was leading a revival at an Assemblies of God church. And so one of the elders wanted to take me out to play golf.
Oh, go figure.
That cat.
Not a revival in the AG church? No.
Yes.
I rock putt-putt.
Did you do human videos when you were
yes.
in the... Yes.
I competed. You know the Fine Arts Festival.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, I competed in that. I went to nationals with our human videos.
That is awesome. I loved human videos. I cannot lie. They were amazing. When I first heard the phrase, I was like, what? I was freaked out by it because, you know, I grew up in the Pentecostal holiness churches. We just had dance teams. That was all it was called. And then they were like human videos. But then when I saw them, I was like, okay, I see why you don't call them dance. This is literally like you're reacting out this video with all of the, oh, it was beautiful, man. Oh, dang it.
That's funny. We went to a black church, an all black church, and performed one of our videos, and it did not hit. They did not get it.
They didn't know what was
You
happening.
got the Apollo dance off the stage.
Blank look on their faces, and it's like, you guys aren't like, okay.
Like, I don't get it.
Oh,
Yep. This is
Donovan. Ryan Donovan. Sorry. Y'all go ahead. I thought his name.
Oh, Ryan Donovan. Okay.
Or their name. Their name. Yes. Good morning, Ryan. Thank you.
Oh.
And
Good morning,
Lexi
Ryan.
Jones. Y'all have to, you know, got to pardon me while I do the morning show thing. You know, I got to call out. my
Absolutely.
and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
We gotta tell them we love them.
Huh?
We
Why
have
would
to
I
tell them.
that? Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I get you. And there's this other person in the chat. There's this, how do you, I'm not really sure how you say the name. Is it this Darnea?
Oh, there goes my
Good morning, Dee
baby.
Dee. She said she called her Dee Dee. I saw it on the show yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, guys, thank you all and Dyslexia Jones. Good morning.
Dyslexia Jones.
I
Our
saw y'all
favorite
giving
detective.
yes. I saw you giving the shout outs on the show. You know, I actually missed your show yesterday. I'm a bad person.
Oh, just a horrible person.
I know.
I'm just playing.
I know.
Well, you're going to be joining me Wednesday, so that'll make up for it. That'll make up for it.
And then you got some sort of special thing going on.
We do. We have a fundraiser going on this Friday. And, oh, man, and we're going to have a whole panel of folk. Chris is going to be there. Both of the apostate sisters are going to be there. Boise from Black Atheist Coalition is going to be there. Brady from Ichabod is going to be there. And Secular Rarity is going to be there. We're going to celebrate our channel hitting 10,000 subscribers. Our TikTok hitting 14,000 followers. Instagram video just hit 90,000 views for the first time. And I had pretty much given up on Instagram. And we're going to be raising money because we're trying to get official this year. We're trying to actually organize so we can get out here, build community in local spaces, so we can start shilling out some educational resources, support resources, and some resources in the entertainment space. You know, you gotta come for it all. If we want to reach people, we gotta really reach people. They need music, they need entertainment, they need books, they need fun times. Atheism is not, or let me move on. Humanism is not just the atheism component. Humanism is trying to find ways to make this a better place for all of us. And that's really our thing, is to find ways that we can use our creativity with our intelligence as a way to help other people and to show people that on the other side of God, there is still compassion, there is still empathy, and damn it, there is still a whole lot of fun and love. And so that's our goal. And Friday, we're going to lay it all out there, see how much we can raise and see how much fun we can have.
Preach.
that's exciting.
Fun.
Yes.
You know, Darante's recently had a change in his situation and gone from full-time worker, part-time content creator to full-time content creator.
Yes.
Choiceless. He was choiceless in this matter.
I was.
But, you know, he's rocking it. So, hell yeah.
Diving in.
Oh, speaking of which, so we released 2 new meditation things yesterday. We have a clean version and an uncensored version. It's a new thing that we're playing out with. And I played both of them, 20 seconds of both of them yesterday at the beginning of our Sunday sessions. And I was thinking that people were going to like the clean version better because it's like, good morning, welcome to this moment, and all that stuff. It's secular mindfulness stuff, but they love the uncensored version, which is like, it's like get your, shit together type of thing. And it's like, they loved it. So both of those are available on our store. And so that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
I was so curious.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. Like, fuck this bullshit.
Yes. Oh, okay. Now I have to do that one. I have to do that one now.
You can have that's free.
Yes.
There you go.
But I thought it was going to be like a novelty thing. I thought people were just going to laugh, and they were like, "No, this is awesome. I need this." And I was like, "Oh, I was really just trying to be funny with this one. I was just channeling my Samuel L. Jackson spirit animal with this one." But okay. Oh man.
The spirit is in you.
Spirit. And you. Real quick though, are you ready, Ryan? I'm thinking we're gonna go right about now because we're gonna do the news. We've got a little news. We've got the Theocracy Watch news. Miss Ryan is fantastic.
Yes.
As a new partner to the show, she's just been active, hardworking, wonderful, fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. She's fine. and so we're going to do Theocracy Watch. Here we go. And go.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Okay, I am going to start all over if that is okay with everybody, because you really need to know about this guy named Joel Webbins. So today is Monday morning, February 24th, and this is Theocracy Watch. And Joel Webbins, as I was saying while I was so rudely muted, Chris, he is an extremist, okay? He is a pastor of Covenant Bible Church in Georgetown, Texas, and he's become a prominent figure in the far-right nationalist circles, known for his inflammatory and divisive statements. His rhetoric often promotes racist and sexist ideologies that raises huge concerns about his influence and the potential impact of his views. So I'm going to give you some quotes just so you know what we're working with. So when it comes to women, he has openly criticized the 19th Amendment, which granted women the right to vote, suggesting that universal suffrage has had detrimental effects. He says universal suffrage has had catastrophic consequences for the West. Okay, sure. Now, as far as labels, Webbins has suggested that being labeled with derogatory terms is a sign of effective advocacy. So when it comes to him, he wants you to call him inflammatory names. He thinks that if you're being called a Nazi, if you're not being called a Nazi, an anti-Semite, a racist or misogynist, then you're not fighting hard enough. Wow. Here's one more quote I'll give to you. On a social media post, Webbins said that he perceives that the loss of traditional gender roles is bad for the West. And he says, yes, the loss of virtuous sexism. I earnestly pray that one day it might be restored. So please keep your eye on pastors like this. Do you have any in your area? Maybe these are things that we should start looking for. Do we have these horrible people on the pulpits preaching such terrible rhetoric that could truly ruin not just women's lives, but everybody's lives? And you know that they're getting comfy and cozy with our representatives. So that is the scary. Absolutely. Right. So that is why we should probably be getting aware of what we have in our area, and maybe just go give them some hell. Give them hell. Absolutely. Thank you for that. That's wonderful. Appreciate You're welcome. You. All right. That's the Theocracy Watch. That was heavy. He has like 120,000 followers on YouTube.
Yep.
And I didn't check elsewhere, but that was enough for me. I was like, wow.
How these people, man? How do these people? You know?
Well, you know,
I don't know.
That's the slippery slope of superstition, right? Like, so for years, especially in this country, we've said, you know, religious beliefs are harmless. Religious beliefs are harmless. And that's, in order to believe that, you have to take a very short view of history. You have to take a very short view of humanity. And the thing is, religious beliefs in this sense are a threat to critical thinking. And so after spending over 2 decades in ministry, I'm not shocked by any of this. While yes, this is stuff that is not typically heralded across the pulpits, you do hear these conversations in the back rooms. These are the thoughts of Christians, because if you don't have an epistemologically sound way to engage the world, then anybody can tell you the world is getting worse because it's not operating according to the Bible. They can say, because women voted, this is why it's this bad. Because of gay people, this is why it's this bad. You know why? Trans. This is why it's this bad. Because at this moment, you're talking to people who have already been molded to ignore evidence, to replace evidence with intuition, to replace evidence with that gut feeling, which has already been socialized by your cultural and familial indoctrination. That's, you know, y'all know me. I've always said I'm not really anti-religion. I'm anti-superstition. I think that is the root of this issue. And the longer we allow that thing to fester, the more we're going to see people like this, the more we're going to see stuff like this. On Bad Science Sunday last night, we watched a guy, and like no sentence he said was like an actual constructive sentence. Not one. For an hour and 35 minutes, not one. But there were thousands of people in his comments saying, you just opened my eyes. Oh, I now know how the world works. You've just set me free. I've been studying you for years. These are real people. That we should be terrified by that. But that was one of the reasons I left the church, because I realized, like, holy snap, we are doing an incredible disservice to our human capacity and our ability to engage. And it doesn't make things better. It's not harmless. This is incredibly harmful, because then good intentioned people, all they know is, this is my pastor. And my pastor, he knows God and he loves God, and he's just trying to give us what God wants for us. And so when they hear him saying this hateful stuff, they don't recognize it as hate, because when they hear that God killed everybody because a few people were killing each other, they don't recognize it as hate either.
Ooh. Yep, they're primed.
Yep.
They're primed for this behavior, for these responses. It makes them very easy, gullible, and so susceptible.
Yeah.
Back when I did IT, I had my largest customer. I was in there and I was talking with the owner, and the what do you call them? The receptionist lady? Let's see if this is going to work. Yes, there we go.
Ooh.
The receptionist lady was a Christian. Well, they were all Christians. We were talking about whether or not God was cruel or violent or not, and the story of Noah came up, and I was like, so drowning babies, right? That's good, that's okay. And the point was, as long as God said so.
Yes.
Deconstruction Zone, good morning, Justin. Thank you for joining us. Rumor has it God kicked Darante out of the kingdom because he was jealous over his voice. Yes. Yeah, I think that's the case. Good morning, Justin from the Deconstruction Zone. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to have
my
you
buddy
on the
from
show.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have him on the show. We need to get a list of guests together and figure out how to get people on here. I'd like to be on your show. Does he have? I mean, I'd like to be on everybody else's shows. That's one of the things. We've got Captain DadPool here, who's lost his steam, lost his mojo, if you will, and has not been able to. I say not been able to. You know what I mean? Has not been able to. He's lost his push to create content, and I just thought that what he should do is he should do what? he should drop a top 10s video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
He's
I
like,
know
oh
they
god.
do so well.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
No, it's one of those things that we've, it's
I should
about
do that.
building building viewership, building subscribers, building content,
yeah.
learning how to create content. You have one of the things is the idea. A lot of us, if you will, think you're going to come into YouTube and do a live stream and it's going to just, and some have that happen. Some of them are really lucky despite a lack of skill or effort.
They land
Yes.
in it.
Justin. No. Look at you, Justin. No. Bad man. I'm a bad man. Some people can that the live stream really works for them. We've got a live stream. It does okay. It takes a lot of freaking work.
It does. Live streams are a lot of work.
Dropping cultivated, created content builds the YouTube and the subscriber base so much faster than the live stream does. Just saying. So that's what we've been working on. That's to be honest, that's how we got Darante from 6,500 to almost 11,000 now, right?
Yeah, I think we're at 10,400.
Yeah.
Way to
10-4.
go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good, buddy.
Been a nice journey.
One of
Nice
those
journey.
deals. Yeah.
Yes.
And I had one that actually started working too. So it's fantastic. Anyway, that's kind of what we do as part of our little community to learn how to create content and grow on YouTube and spread our message is we have these little content creator classes that we're starting up, So feel free if you want to join in.
If they can proselytize, then why can't we apostatize? I don't know if that's a word, but it is now.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
Why not?
Apostatize.
And
I
don't know if you
apostatize you in the name of myself, I guess.
in the name of
In the name of yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Oh, I
Your
like that.
spirit.
I like that.
I think it's about time for our guests to get a cup of coffee maybe and take a tiny break. Do people want to see what do you want to see this morning? I really truly am working on more commercials. I got stuff. I mean, actually, part of it, I did my juicy brain this morning working on the technology, learning how to do the software that I need to do to create the new commercials. We're going to another level.
Oh.
Jesse Bear wants goats.
Whole nother level.
Goats. We're going to give them goats. Good morning, Daniel, Kevin. Nice to have you. I don't recognize your name. Good morning, Patty and Nancy.
Yes.
Oh, you want to? Oh my goodness.
Screaming goat.
He's not a screaming goat. Fantastic. We're going to give him goats. Hey, Justin from Deconstruction Zone, if you're still there, check out the goats. Because thank you for the super chat, by the way. Justin, Justin actually showed up on the show one day and the show crashed. Remember?
Oh,
the
snap.
stream. Yeah, well, not on the show. He's in the chat. I'm like, Justin's here. And then the show crashed. I blame him personally. Here we go. People want goats. I'm going to get some coffee. Let's have some goats.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall snipe thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that hundred snow, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, and we are back. Mostly back, sort of back.
Sort of back.
But as an entertaining thing, look, hey, there she is.
Hi.
But also,
Hello.
our computer engineer has come into the room. Ricky, this is my computer engineer. He helps out on the show. This is Ollie.
Hello.
He's got his own Ollie fans cam.
Ollie
stuff
fans.
like that. Yeah. So this is Ollie.
That's awesome.
He's like, I'm over it. Put me down, old man.
Stop touching me.
So I've actually got 5 dogs. Sorry, 5 dogs. There you go.
Rude.
And each one of them, you know, I mean, they're just lazy. So we got to make them work. They just so, you know, Ollie's our computer engineer. Sadie's our camera operator. Daisy's the sound engineer. You know, Jack is our lighting. You know, we got to make them work. And the reason why I tell you all this is because I think you should probably do the same. And you've got cats over there, and they just lay around. I mean,
Put them to work.
Put them to work.
Their job is to make me work. That's their job. Their job is to make me clean up, throw up, you know, refill the cat food and water and all that.
Gotcha. Patty asks, good morning, Patty. Patty asks, do your dogs scratch you at night, convincing you that you're under a demon attack? Yes. Okay. Let me tell you this. All right. So Daisy, Daisy, she looks like a miniature black lab is what she looks like. She's just like tiny little 25 pound of muscle. That's a Pickle. Oh my goodness. There's Pickle.
She's a little fuzzy. Hold on. I got to change the... There we go.
Oh, look at there.
There's Pickle. All right, wait, let me get
Pickles.
Oh, there you go. Pickle Cam. So Daisy kind of looks like that, but she's solid black and smaller. Yeah. Looks like a miniature, a min pit is kind of what she looks like. Anyway, she'll be sleeping and she sleeps down by my legs. And every now and then she'll straighten out her feet. You know how dogs do when they're sleeping. Mm-hmm. And she has kicked me in the testicles more than once. Yes. What a gorgeous puppy dog. You know, we have a guest on the show today, but to hell with him. We've got
Who needs Captain Dadpool?
Who needs Captain Dadpool?
Dog has always been.
Dogs are cool. Yeah. So
I have a cat that'll attack my feet while I'm asleep sometimes.
Oh, really?
So whenever he's asleep, I'm like, oh, payback time, bitch.
That's what you get.
Thank you for showing us Pickle. Daniel Kevin, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And I saw Cuddly Unicorn sneak in here. Miss Non Sequitur, how are you doing? Poor creature. She's been reading my sci-fi book, War in Heaven. And at first she was like, Chipper, how you doing? I'm like, doing good. And after this chapter in, she's like, you're all right. I'm like, okay. 3 chapters in, she's like, I ain't talking to that son of a bitch anymore. 4 chapters in, she's pressing charges. I don't know. It's all right, though. Good morning, Ember. And
Ember.
why don't demons attack anyone but Carlson? They get tuckered out. That was fun.
They get tucked. I like that.
I used to always think that demons were in my house.
Ooh.
Because that's what my parents would say.
Oh, yeah.
Like if a door, like, you know how sometimes the door gets blown open or closed because of a draft or something?
Yes.
That would freak them out. There were times when like my parents would buy something from Goodwill and then we'd have to either burn it or take it back because maybe they had a bad dream and that it was because there's something in the painting.
Yep. Demons can attach themselves to shit, you guys. Yeah.
I wish they'd attach themselves to something else, but
Right?
no, demons always around you, especially at the Goodwill.
That's right. Tucker Carlson, didn't he say he was attacked by a demon because he had claw marks on his back?
Or something. That's what the question was. Yeah.
You know, he like cheated on his wife, and his wife said, "What are these claw marks on your?" He was like, "A demon attacked me, dear." But yeah,
what a POS! I bet.
I bet you anything that's how that happened.
And she probably fell for it.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you marry Tucker Carlson, you're probably pretty dumb.
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
Good morning, Jesse Bear. Jesse Bear says, "Oh my God, I used to believe in ghosts so badly. It was a very big problem. No religion, no ghosts. Funny how, or no religion, no ghosts. Funny how that works."
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost is a funny thing, I mean, like, where are they? Why aren't they everywhere? There's been billions of people who've You know, Pat.
And why don't they like stab you or like pull your hair, like
All
do
the
something
time.
of touch?
teach
And I
me
know
how to
people
make
say that
pottery.
happens, but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, as an African American, it was always hard for me to believe in ghosts because I'm like, no, if there were ghosts, slaves would be killing everybody right now. Slaves would be haunting like the hell out of everybody. Slaves and Native Americans and Native Mexicans would be haunting the hell out of the whole
my ancestors.
American continent. Yes.
They'd be like, "Get out of here, colonizer."
Yes.
Nancy in the chat says, one of the apostate sisters, by the way, if you're not subscribed to them, go subscribe. She says, what respectable woman would willingly have an affair with Carlson? Who said it was a woman?
Oh, man. Who said it was willing? You know,
oh man,
you know how that's true. That's true. Darante, but you know, I mean, because you know how those people who are so against gays, like they are, those right-wing anti-gay people, almost always turn out to be secretly gay.
Oh yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
Tucker,
They're all fucking each other behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Big gay orgy.
Hold
on.
Yes.
Wait, where was it that allegedly, I don't know if it was real, somebody in the comments might tell me that it was actually just a conspiracy or fake news, but there was some kind of convention, and in the area of the convention, there were a lot of grinder hits.
Exactly.
Yeah, at,
the
Republican National Convention.
That's right.
Yeah, the CEO of Grindr said that it's like Christmas for them.
And that's not a new phenomenon. That's a statistical norm among believers, period. When a Christian convention comes to town, the hotels, like back in the day when hotels should have pay-per-view, the porn pay-per-view rates would skyrocket.
Oh my God.
Skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Degenerates.
I mean, who knew that sexual repression would do this to people? Who knew?
It's almost like purity culture is bad for humans. It's almost like humans are naturally curious and like to enjoy their body. Wow.
They want to play with stuff, you know?
That's weird.
We're primates.
Yes.
I mean, it's right there. It's an arm's reach. Like,
yes. Why not touch it?
It's so convenient.
It's the perfect length when you think about it. So like divine intervention.
I love this show.
You can play with it by accident if you're not careful, you know.
Reagan says, Chris, are you getting Darante's name on screen wrong on purpose?
I did not notice it until he said it.
Got it spelled Darante.
That is definitely not me.
Are you sure?
I feel like we mixed my name and my wife's name together to get this one. It's like their names aren't alike enough. It's now Darante, and Darnea. You've just thrown us together now.
Don't say that too much. My furniture might start moving.
Justin with Deconstruction Zone gave $2 in super chat and said, "Cucker Charleston, lace those nicotine pouches." Can you imagine how that kiss went down? Past the pouch between them.
Oh man, Demon was her stage name.
Was he buying baby oil?
Baby oil
in bulk.
Man,
let me move that.
Thank
down
you,
there.
Justin.
Thank you, Justin, very much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Let me go here.
And I do got to call out. Ember is also going to be joining us Wednesday night for the Bible study with the next pastor. This one, it's going to be Ember, Chris, and AT Coffee. We're doing a panel, and we're in Leviticus, one of the most boring books in the whole Bible, and boy is it bloody. And it's going to be fun.
All codes.
Yes, I think last time we were there, Chris, didn't we learn that houses could get leprosy? Is that what happened last time?
Everything gets leprosy. Everything. Every sickness is leprosy.
Every sickness is leprosy.
Everything is leprosy. It's all leprosy. You got leprosy and you got leprosy.
You get infected. You get infected.
Yes.
That's right. It was pretty wild. Thank you again for the super chat, Justin.
It probably appeared that way though, because they had so many disease rampant that it was like, I don't know, a freaking hole in my body is probably leprosy.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny. It was like it just, I don't know. It really went off about white hair, things with white hair being bad.
It did.
Is there white hair growing out of it? I'm like, oh shit.
Chris, you're damned, man. You're damned.
I know, right?
Okay.
Oh,
Dyslexia
man.
Jones says, I literally went on a date with a guy. Nice time. My very first appointment for dog training the next day, the guy showed up with his wife. Wow, wow, wow.
Whoa, what?
He was very surprised to see me.
Huh.
Yeah. Shout out to your
my
earlier. Nancy says, shout out to your earlier acronym discussion, Darante.
Right? Yes.
Oh, am I? Yeah, I got it that time. I got it right that time. Do we have a poll? What about my poll? Hey, Ricky,
Show me your poll.
you want to see my poll?
I do want to see your poll.
I have a poll. That's what I thought.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Ooh, polio.
Wait, I don't have one to show.
That's the reason to show.
You take the poly of polies with the
I wanna see
holy
that
of
even
holies,
more.
and you got yourself a good time. I tell you that.
That's right. I hit 5,300 subscribers. Look at me go.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
I grow.
I grow.
Okay.
He's a grower.
Not a shower.
Oh, I actually have the poll right over here. Okay, here we go. I got the poll. But so far, oh wait, we have Ben 9 Lives donated $5 to Super Chat. Says, great show. Onward, heathen soldiers. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Welcome to the damnation, fellow burner. Let me get this over here.
Ben.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to
Do
share
the
my
heart, bitch.
screen.
Can I do that? I think-
It's. I think
Is
it's
it- or is
from
it
my
just you?
Google. It's because I'm on Chrome.
Oh,
Gotcha. Oh yeah. Okay, so over here, Ahan just revealed something very interesting. Y'all won't notice though. Y'all might notice. Somebody will notice. Somebody will notice. Okay, so here the question of the day is: what's the weirdest thing you've heard someone claim as proof of God? Proof of God. I only have 3 options, and I have an all the above kind of situation. Number 1, you can't explain the complexity of the eye. That one's kind of gets me. Number 2, if we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? That one hurts my brain. When
does.
somebody says that, I'm like, oh my God. I immediately begin to question a lot of things about the person's intelligence, parenting, education, those sorts of
But
things.
that goes back to what Ricky mentioned earlier when he was at school, and it's like the counter apologist says what you hit him with is the carbon dating thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, what do you know about carbon dating? Well, no, I don't know anything about that. It's the exact same thing. What this statement demonstrates is this person knows absolutely nothing about evolution.
Yes. The more they speak, in fact, the more they expose their ignorance.
Yes.
Tell on yourself, dude. Like,
Yes.
Number 3, a painting needs a painter, so creation needs a creator. That one bugs me. I'm like, dude, it's just
Who creates the creator?
right. They know,
Yeah.
but the creator was always there. I'm like, yeah, right. Well, the painting was always there, bitch.
Then you just violated your own clause.
That's right. Nancy, she's got us. Nancy says clearly, proof of God. I just never thought about it. Perfect. Proof of God, a baby smile.
Oh, that's cute, but
I don't
it's
like
wrong.
Babies are okay, especially when I don't know. I prefer mine fried,
yeah,
sometimes baked,
air fryer.
Man.
air fryer. True enough.
I think we should ask God what He prefers when
It's
it comes to His babies.
Yeah. He likes some battered.
Oh, nice.
I'm
One
going to
never
hell for
knows.
that one.
Blessed is he who dashes his little one upon the rocks.
Yes. Ricky got it. Okay,
Raven Lunatic just gave us the best, weirdest proof of God, and it's a real thing. Like this is something that we've talked about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, that's proof. That's it.
That's
we
clearly
have
all the proof we need. You see what Ryan did last time we were talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, you just take it and you." I'm like, "Oh, that never occurred to me to touch yourself with it."
Can you use like a Jesus foreskin as like protection, like as a contraceptive?
I don't
Like
know.
Well, wait, is that what? Okay, I might not have the right name. Is it Zipporah?
Zipporah, Moses'
Takes
wife.
her
Yeah.
skin and
Yep.
yeah. So I wonder if maybe it really does have protection.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
there's a new line of content.
If your
right
dick
there.
is small enough, you could use it as a condom.
It's like one of those little pop toppers, I guess.
There you go. There you go. Pull out the slack. Give it away.
Helmet for your helmet.
That's right. Okay, so we've got some people have given us options here in the chat. Let's see what they say
Oh,
here.
nice too.
Andrew Prescott says, I've heard all this total BS many times before. I think the only people apologists are really convincing is themselves. A very serious. Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can imagine the greatest possible mind. That one always kind of gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have died in a hospital without God.
Oh, okay. What about the people who did die in the hospital?
Yeah.
What about people who died outside of the hospital?
Yeah. There's somebody here. There's a noise came from the other
I heard
room.
that.
It's a ghost.
It's the
It's a
demon.
ghost. It's the evil one is among us. She's
awake.
off this week. Yeah, she's off this
The
week.
banana. Oh, that's classic.
The banana, yes.
Oh yes, when that dude's like peeling the banana.
Oh,
like,
and he's like, he's
Ray
doing the
Comfort.
like shake weight with it. Ray Comfortless. Yes.
And Ray Comfort's like, it fits perfectly in your hand. That's how it proof. And I'm like, my dick fits perfectly in my hand, oddly.
It does.
Or two of them.
It's even curved.
Just the middle out. That's how you get the middle out.
I mean, when you lock the fingers together.
Yeah, it's like, what's that Chinese finger trap? Is that what that thing is? Like,
Yeah, those are bad. Chris plays
He's just so lucky he had holes in his hand. He could just do it that way.
oh man, that has to be. Oh dang! Now I'm
convenient, right?
jealous. I am so jealous.
Yeah.
I want to see what he does with those feet, though. Let's see.
Yeah,
how
right.
Ooh.
Let me
They
get
get
this.
wet.
All right, so let's see. The 7-day week and splitting time in half. Yeah, the three listed. There's a lot of weird things that people have come up with to justify someone's
Ooh.
claim of God. You
I
know,
think a good one. The weirdest proof I've ever heard of God is the Bible. That's the weirdest one, and that's one like I attached myself to for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like God is real because the Bible.
It proves
Yeah.
itself.
yeah.
Bible's true because it says it's true.
That's
It's like
right.
you're not even trying. This is the Bible.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because the
Someone-
movie can happen.
So the
Actually,
movie can happen.
I was on the Atheist Experience with Matt Dillahunty. A guy called in and he said his music playlist. Like he was going through something really hard, and every song on his playlist was like exactly what he needed to hear. He's like,
Yes.
that's God, and we're like, that's music, fool.
Oh,
Right.
dude.
That's
That's
Like,
AI.
you put your playlist on because you were in that mood, and you knew it would help.
yep.
Or if it's
Yep.
Spotify, it will choose music of similar type. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
not rocket
And it's also a type of pareidolia as well, where you feel like you need to feel like this radio is speaking to you. It's and finding those patterns, you know. But
And who are you to
such
say
a
it's
mix.
not speaking to me, though?
Ooh. I mean, it's saying something. It's saying something.
I don't know if it's
Mine
speaking
off.
to me or about me.
not sure which.
Oh man,
What's that called? Para what?
pareidolia. I hope I'm
Pareidolia.
pronouncing it. I may be hitting that I a little harder than it's supposed to be hit, but it's PAR. I'm gonna stop there. It's pareidolia.
He didn't sign on to teach us how to spell.
Right?
Google it, woman.
I didn't know you want to answer that question.
Look, I was like, I'm not about to embarrass myself and throw a O here, and it might be a E or a like
Right.
those technical words. They get tricky. They get
They
tricky.
do. They really do.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something I didn't know. You learn something new every day.
Well, it's like I always find it fascinating because like there was a time when I was a kid that I was afraid of like shadows and afraid of things being under my bed. And learning about those things later on and how your brain works is fascinating. So it's like if you're sitting in your room at night, it's a storm outside, and a tree limb is flashing in front of your window. Before you know it's a tree limb, your mind is going to try to put those images together based on information you already have. And then of course, at that moment, your emotional state is heightened because you're afraid, you're already scared. And so where's it going to pull that emotion from? Where's it going to pull that information from? It's going to pull information from your fear circuitry first, while it's still trying to pull together that imagery for you. But the first things you're going to see are the things you're afraid of. So it's going to look like that boogeyman, that scary thing. But the longer you look at it, the more you give your mind time to process it. And eventually the new information overrides the old information. And you finally realize, oh, it's just a tree branch. But if you don't if you don't know that process and you've already been exposed to superstition, you're going to go with that first thought. This is proof of a demon. There's a demon outside my window. It's
actually
fascinating.
God
It's a survival mechanism.
cosplaying as a tree branch.
Oh, God loves to cosplay. Oh,
I kind of did that. Not like fear factor, but what do you call when you put yourself in those situations that
Try to
frighten you to
desensitize
get
yourself.
over it?
Oh, yeah.
I would kind of like go into a dark room and like I'd be like, I love demons. Demons are great. I like when demons play with me, and I think they should fight. Like just things like that. And just to see, I was like, well, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know. They've never done anything to you of harm. So if they're real, here would be the opportunity because I'm inviting them because you're never supposed to. Nothing. And I was like,
That's why I always go to furry orgies.
really was in my head. Yeah.
You had
I
my
love furry
curiosity.
orgies, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So at first you had my curiosity, Ricky. Now you have my attention. You said furry orgies.
Yeah,
Could you clarify?
I'm terrified of furry orgies. That's why I go to them all the time. I'm trying to get over, so I can get over that fear.
Get over that fear.
I got you.
Oh, man. I like this one.
Gosh. Maybe that's
I didn't
what the
realize that was a
Grindr is all
secret
about
fear
at the
I had.
conventions.
What's that, Ryan?
I said maybe that's what the Grinder app is all about at the conventions. The reason why it's so, everybody there is like, I got to face my fear and meet up with some.
No, babe, I'm just getting over my fear. That's all. That's all. Conquering my fear in the rear. Oh, man.
I need to know what it feels like.
Patty says exposure therapy is real. I've heard.
Exposure therapy.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to be afraid of heights, and then I had to work derricks in the oil field, and I got over being afraid of heights.
Yikes.
How high?
I actually enjoy heights now. I do not like ledges. I am not a man who likes to get. I've had so many I'm clumsy, been clumsy all my life. I just see me getting near a ledge and tripping, and where'd Chris go? Well, he just kind of tripped.
Same.
So
I
ledges,
don't like
problem with
ledges because I have a hyperactive imagination, and so like I don't even like driving across bridges because of that. Because I'm immediately going to think of everything that could possibly go wrong.
My heart, my stomach starts to drop because I'm thinking of the feeling of falling, and I'm like,
Yes. Yes.
that makes me
It's hilarious in basic training when you're in the military. There's an eagle tower where you have to rappel down this huge. It's hilarious watching the people who are scared of heights.
Yes.
Like they're just up there, just ugly crying, and the drill sergeants are screaming at them, "Get your ass down!" And they're like,
That'd be me.
That would be me.
funny.
That would be me.
A little stream of urine running down my leg. That'd be me.
You got to get me high to get me high. If you want to get me high, you got to get me high first. That's the only
So I
way
don't
that's
see the
happening.
end coming. Yes. Right. I'm like, oh shit, I fall. Thank you, Raven Lunatic, for the $5 super cat. Says, don't worry, Darante. In the middle of the night, that thing under your bed is just. It's just me.
I'm gonna go bump in the night. It's just Chris.
Bumping in the night. You know,
He's just
I want
gonna
to.
bump in the night.
We're gonna do a thing here in just a second. I think it's time for us to run the Pharaoh Sombrero song. When we get back, I'm gonna see if our friend Darante has got a scripture for us, because he
I
likes to
certainly
do that
do.
sort of thing. So we'll be back in just a minute after the Pharaoh Sombrero. Enjoy yourselves. What do they call that? An earworm.
Yay.
Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno. A full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno. A full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
Yes, I was just.
Oh yeah.
All right, and we are back. Yes, we're talking about God not liking vaginal blood for some reason.
Yes.
And of all the blood kinds we kind of got, that one's one of they recently discovered, I believe, is full of healthy stem cells, T cells, or some business like that.
Man.
Why? What is it? It's like with these religious folks that it's, or at least their God creature thing. Every decision it makes is the wrong decision.
Everyone.
Somebody hit me up in my chat. I did the top 10 reasons why the Bible is a bad source of morality. That was my top 10 video. And somebody commented, well, if you think you can do better than God, I'm like, really? I listed
so much
4. Yeah, I only listed 4, and I was like, I listed 4, and I've already done better than your God.
Boom.
I still have 6 spots left. You know, I mean, not to rape women and children,
right?
That would be high on my list, and that alone puts it up there above.
Yes, it does.
Jason said Yahweh hates it because he wears white robes and buys cheap laundry detergent. He can't afford to continuously be doing laundry. He has other things to do, like prayers to answer, guys. So keep your vagina blood to yourself.
Yes.
Buy a cup
God needs to get him some purity panties, is all I can say.
Oh.
I mean, they make the kind that you can wash
panties?
now.
Oh, do they?
Just throw them in your washer and reuse. So
yeah,
it can help with the earth.
See. Jesse Bear says menstrual blood has an insane amount of stem cells. Eventually, we should be able to use it for treatment. Exactly. It's like the one blood they really should be using or something, rubbing on their face, like Ryan would say. Yeah, but and yet it is yet filthy and disgusting. And if a woman came with it, or a girl came with it, it's even more disgusting and yucky.
Yucky.
Like that's what I don't understand in certain religions where like a woman is unclean. That makes me like then you're saying that what God made is bad. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Yes.
True enough. Menstrual cups are life-changing.
Love mine.
That's cool.
I absolutely
I love mine too. Mine.
At least you don't have to change it every like half hour.
Oh, man.
Sometimes
yeah.
tampons, like you got to be changing them things every so often if you're a heavy bleeder. It's not fun.
That sounds inconvenient.
It is
I don't know
very
what just happened. Everything blacked out. I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry, Chris. The show just took a turn.
I'm an old man. Don't hurt me here.
Oh, man.
Justin said, "Yeah, we have sensitive skin."
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Justin says Yahweh has very sensitive skin. It explains his allergies to yeast, mixed fabric, and iron.
That is hilarious.
The iron one always gets me. The iron chariots. Oh no, there's iron chariots over there. Like, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Isn't that because of imagery of other gods and iron chariots and whatnot? Like it was jealousy because they had, advanced.
Wait. They had
Ooh.
iron envy?
Iron envy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, my.
Are you okay, Darante? We break
Yes.
There's always something to be envious about.
There's always something to be envious. Yes, very true. Men, just look down. You'll find it. She's waving. Sad. Durante, do you have a scripture for us today? Let me pull you up on the screen.
Come on, Durante.
I do have a scripture
Inject us
for
with
us today.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to turn our attention to the book of Judges, and we're going to be looking at chapter 3, verses 21 through 22. And I'm going to read it first, and it just says, Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and plunged it into the king's belly. Even the handle sank in after the blade, and his bowels discharged. Ehud did not pull the sword out, and the fat closed in over it. All right, welcome back to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It's that time again for Scripture of the Day, the segment where we dig into the good book and find out just how not good it really is. Now, today's scripture comes straight out of the Old Testament, a book so violent it makes Game of Thrones looks like Blue's Clues. We're in the book of Judges, which ironically is one of the most lawless, murder-filled parts of the Bible. Judges was definitely written before HR departments existed. So today's story is about Ehud, an Israelite assassin. Now, Ehud had a mission, kill Eglon, the king of Moab. So what does he do? Walks right up to this king, whips out a dagger, shanks him in the stomach. But wait, here's the best part. The dude was so fat that the entire sword got stuck in his gut. Imagine this, the entire sword is stuck in the man. I don't know, maybe he did an uppie and not an innie. I don't know how this thing worked, but the whole sword is stuck in the man. It's like a game of hungry hippos. I don't know how this is going down, but the whole sword is in there, handle and all, and the wound closed over it like a hungry burrito. So, and of course, let's not forget, it specifically says that when he got stabbed, his bowels discharged. My man got murked so hard, he literally pooped himself with a whole sword in his gut. And I'm wondering, how does that even work? So yes, this wasn't just a hit job. This was a disrespectful assassination.
Maybe he had a turtle head poking out when the guy killed him.
He's prairie dogging.
He was crowning.
Am I not turtle enough for the turtle head?
Oh, master of disguise, yes.
Rare reference.
So he didn't just take him out. He made sure that the king goes out in the most humiliating way possible. Imagine the last thing you do on this earth is violently evacuate everything you ate for breakfast. And folks, this is in the holy book. You mean to tell me this same Bible that bans shrimp, tattoos, and mixed fabrics also contains a graphic description of a royal homicide by belly fat? This is sacred scripture, and let's be real, this passage goes into detail. It doesn't just say Ehud killed him. The Bible is like, let me set the scene. Dude was big, the sword disappeared inside him, and oh yeah, he straight up had an accident on the way out. And y'all wonder why atheists actually read the Bible? Because this is the kind of stuff you won't hear in church. Nobody is cracking open Judges 3 and saying, all right, congregation, today's message, don't eat too much or you might swallow a sword whole. So today's takeaway, if you ever think the Bible is just a nice, wholesome book full of morals, remember, it's also got gory, poop-filled assassin stories that would make Tarantino say, damn, that's a bit too much. Thank you for joining us for today's segment of Scripture of the Day.
Thank you. Yeah, wow, that's kind of like, I mean, that's how Elvis died on the toilet.
Oh yes, he died not a sword to the gut, but he died.
No, yeah. Shat himself when he passed. But I had to have like a surgery. I had what do you call it? Hernia.
Oh yeah.
I had to have a little mess put in. But before that, I didn't know it was. I had constant pain. I was like, I don't want to die like Elvis. I used to. And then I got a new song. I used to sing this other song that I need to put in. So here you've heard it. You're gonna hear it here, and then someday you're gonna hear it on a song form, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I heard that before. It's like, oh, my guts are falling out, and I don't care. My guts are falling out, and I don't care. It's a love song.
Yeah, I like when my guts fall out.
I think everyone shits themselves when they die.
Yeah. I was thinking that whenever you were talking about that, Darante, I was like, it's odd that they mentioned that because there's so many people who die throughout the Bible who almost certainly all of them do something similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
brothers and sisters, don't get fat or you might shit yourselves when someone's dead. That's a lesson to be learned. It's a Bible lesson right there.
That's why I lost all the weight. I didn't want to shit myself if I got stabbed. That was my motivation. That's
but the
lost
chances
motivation out of this world.
Yeah, chances are though you still will. I mean,
they don't rail on gluttony that much. As much as they do like with sex and
this is true.
They don't say too much about gluttony. I mean, they mention it.
Oh no, there's a lot of fat preachers.
I don't know that
preachers. Oh
yeah. I don't know that, and I could be wrong. We might have to get maybe a preacher or an ex-preacher to tell us, or maybe somebody who's gone to Bible school or some business. But I don't really know that they were talking food gluttony necessarily, were they?
Oh, maybe
I'm just curious. Were they talking food gluttony?
I don't know.
That is a good one. Now I'm wondering.
It might have been because everybody was skinny. Like there wasn't really such thing as a fat person back then. Like you had to be a king to get fat. So maybe that was
people heavy back then. I thought now this could be cultural and not apply to that region, but I thought for the most part, people who had weight on them were considered affluent, well-to-do. Because they could.
Yeah. So, absolutely. And I know it was looked down upon being overweight in tribes that were warlike, because then you'd be unhelpful. You can't keep up with the rest of us. You're an easy target. And that's not where all the dietary laws come from, but that does play a role in some of the dietary laws. It's just like we have to be warrior fit because we got to go kill and rape people.
I feel like they haven't seen the Pacific Islanders football team because them boys, they big, but they hustle.
Oh man,
yes they do.
I like hustling big people.
If they ran into you, oof.
Oh, yikes.
And they don't play with helmets and pads and stuff like they do with American football. I find that amazing how they're not as afraid.
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby. Exactly.
That's just MMA on the field. I've seen rugby.
They're on top of each other.
Yes. Yeah. Roundhouse kicking people. I'm
hard. Yeah.
Right. Very homoerotic the way those big strong men go grabbing other big strong men.
I do wonder if that, not the players, but some of the people who watch enjoy that kind of.
I have had people say, I've seen, was it here in my chat that they said they watch American football just for the man asses? See the man asses.
Oh, Dragons answered us.
Okay.
They were indeed talking about food gluttony. It was also stored referenced by Paul when he chastised people for eating all the communal food before half the guests arrived.
That's right. Forgot about that.
That's right. He says, don't you have food at home that you could be eating before you come here and eat all of this? Paul was funny.
Which congregation was that?
That's either Corinthians. Yeah.
Well, you know, I want to point out another fine detail of the situation that we could be missing out on, that the evil one has chimed in upon. She's not where she can chime in through the chat normally, but she sent message telepathically to my brain, and that is that when they met, he spilled his intestines, his bowels. That could have been whenever they run the weapon through him. It'll open you up, and your bowels will fall out of your womb, out of the womb. Yeah. They may not have meant that he shat himself.
There's only one problem with that.
Please.
The fat closed over the sword.
After or before?
Yeah. So if the sword is closed inside of his body, that's the miracle of the moment. That's the proof. Weirdest proof for God. The proof that it's God. It's that.
Okay, but that was what I was asking. Did he lose his bowels before the sword closed over or after?
Let's go.
See, that's the whole deal.
That is, yes. Let's see here.
Kind of like when Judas hung himself and his entrails became his extrails.
His extrails, yes.
Yep.
Your innards or your outards?
Your innards or your outards.
You know?
When you fall from a high branch, and of course some people say it was off a cliff, and yikes! I'm surprised that's all that happened. I'm surprised the head didn't pop off. That's God
cosplaying as a cliff.
Did you guys used to do the thing with the dandelions? Mama had a baby and its head popped off, and you just like flicked the head of the dandelion off.
That sounds traumatizing.
No.
I don't know why, but that was something we did as a kid.
Really? Yeah. Witnesses
and
are
you'd
whack.
see how like maybe it was a JW thing. A little sadistic.
Yeah.
Right-handed Jedi said right-handed Sith said he also said that about the guts. That may have been where the guts.
Yeah. The Dandelion Massacre. I love that.
We could ask
Dandelion Massacre.
We could ask the chat how the thing. That's kind of a fast way to do that.
Oh man, came from Tertullian around the end of the 2nd century. He liked the number 7 more than 10. Ooh, yeah.
Who was it that got stabbed in the sword and the fat?
Ehud stabbed. It was the king of Moab. What is his name? Was it?
I got it. No worries.
Eglon.
Oh.
Eglon.
Okay.
I am the Eglon. I am the walrus.
Seems like he was a reject from Lord of the Rings. Eglon didn't make it.
Yeah, it's an interesting name, Eglon.
I just want to mention while I wait, they've changed this thing in my chat anyway. Whenever I do a chat and I type something in there, it'll start reasoning. And it will go through and it'll tell me, it'll let me see what the thing is thinking. It'll say like, this person wants to know about this right here. And sometimes it's like, it makes me self-conscious. Like this idiot wants to know what, and I was like, anyway, Ehud was one of Israel's judges who delivered his people from Moab's oppression. According to the biblical account, blah, 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 being left-handed, crafted a double-edged sword, concealed at his right thigh. Okay.
Bible likes thighs.
It does.
Thighs are very popular in the Bible.
What is?
Thighs.
Oh, thighs. Yeah.
There's a lot of thigh talk. There's a lot of foot talk.
Loins.
Yeah.
Lots of loins.
Oh,
I
man.
got something in my eye. Damn it. Damn it.
Okay, there we go. I asked the question. Uh-oh. She went away. Oh, no.
Just trying to see if I can get this out of my eye. Okay,
There
I
you
think
go.
I did it.
There you go.
Okay, I think I'm okay now, guys.
Oh, my God, it's there. It's huge in your eye.
There's a huge plank in your eye.
Hey, take the plank out of your eye before you point the. No, take the plank out of your eye before you point the splinter in my eye. Wherever.
That's right. That's right.
Something like that. Jesus. Well, he probably didn't say it at all, but you know.
Okay.
Somebody said he said it.
Oh man.
I'm checking it out here though. Why is it being such a jerk?
Why are we talking about foreskins again? What's happening?
Who's talking? Was it Ryan? Did Ryan bring up? She didn't.
I didn't bring up. I think it was.
Yeah.
Who was it? I just looked.
Jesse Bear.
Jesse
Lots of
Bear.
foreskin.
Oh,
King Elon Musk. Oh, I love it.
Elon Musk.
Oh, it's prophetic. It's prophetic. It's a prophecy.
Elon Musk.
A lot of talk about God's dick too.
While you're there,
it's not obvious. But
I'm going to make a top 10 about God's penis. Well, no, I think I'm going to make a top 10 about God's body parts. That you didn't know were mentioned in the Bible. And I'm definitely going to make like his penis.
Like his mini breast. He also has many breasts. He has a breasted God.
Yes. He also,
that is correct.
So these are the things I want to bring to people's attention. I didn't know that God had titties in a womb.
Oh, yes.
Wait. So,
He's getting jellical.
Getting jelly with it. No.
Okay. That's how he has so many foreskins.
That's why it's the land flowing with milk and honey. It's all the titties, man. That's where that's where all the milk is coming from.
I mean, come on, when you're trying to give people imagery of fertile, you're not, it's a dude's not going to do it. You need to use something that you see in nature, which are, women breastfeeding and raising children and giving birth,
Jugs.
Jugs.
The mini jugged one. God is the most jugulous.
Jugulous.
I want to go to this church now.
Me too. This is the kind of preacher I could get down with if he was up on the stage talking about the mighty jugs.
Well, no, imagine being in a church and there's pictures of God all over the church and God just has a whole bunch of titties. I promise you, people are going to love visiting that church.
Biblically accurate God.
Accurate titty God. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
He's got tits. He's got a huge dick. And,
yes. He's a hermaphrodite. This is interesting. God is an interesting character.
Yeah, the passage in the vision in Ezekiel of the train of God's robes filling the temple.
Yes,
I'm talking about his robes.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
I think I learned that from Francesca Stavrakopoulou's book.
Yep.
Big things popping, small things stopping. All right. Wow.
Milk.
That's one of my favorite books. It really is mind blowing.
Oh my God. There's a chance that El Shaddai was an Amorite fertility goddess. That makes so much sense. Dragons and Jada Genesis. Yes.
I have a paper saved in my favorites on archive.org about El Shaddai, which I thought was really good. But if you have any other books, I have a lot of books that mention it. But if you have anything else specifically, I would love to read more about it.
Yeah.
The breasted gods.
There you go. I was trying to get ChatGPT to do any freaking thing, and it's just stupid today. I don't know why.
Oh,
struggling.
I know. A mini-breasted god.
You'd think there's these serious people out there who do serious stuff, and they ask it questions like, do this number by this ratio and do all this really smart things. I'm just asking this stupid stuff. I'm like, can you give me the scripture? It took 4 minutes to give me the freaking scripture about the Bible, the guy getting stabbed in the guts. This other one here is like a whole minute. It's just stupid this morning.
Might be struggling.
It might be.
Yeah.
It just doesn't like me. I asked it for a biblically accurate image of God, and it absolutely shat itself. It just.
Oh yeah. Well. Now part of that is because the Bible isn't univocal. So when it's probably trying to pull from Revelations, Daniel, Ezekiel, Isaiah, and then other things that Christians have just said that is a description of God. Because a lot of time ChatGPT is just pulling from what other people have said, especially when it comes to religion. When it comes to religion stuff, that's one of the most unreliable places ChatGPT is. It's yikes.
Yeah, so see what it does.
The internet in general is really bad. I'm trying to find. You have to read books. You can't Google shit about the Bible. You're going to get 10,000 church websites, and so you got to buy a book and read it. That's.
Yep.
It is the best
membership to
reference.
J-Star or J-Star.
Yeah, JSTOR. I love JSTOR.
Yes.
Archive has tons of stuff. I think there's like another one, Z Library or something like that you can also get books. I mean, I prefer to pay for them when I can, but there are times when I'm not paying $400 for a book. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
They can get up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yikes! Yeah. Oh man. I got four kids.
And and that's why I appreciate people like, DadPool and others and, Darante, Chris, who make content where you can be educated and we can all pull our resources of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, since I got you, and I'm gonna. It's near the bottom of the hour. We'll take a break in just a second, but I wanted to ask you about because we kind of got sidetracked. We have a guest on the show today, Ricky. Captain DadPool is joining us today.
Ricky, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind, Ricky.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Raven will have me out here singing, "Hey, Darante, you're so fine. You're so fine." You're so fine. I mean, he's done it before.
Gotta go a little harder when it's me.
So, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I wanted to get you to let you finish your story. We've interrupted you plenty because that's our job.
That's what we do.
Go ahead, fill us in on the last little bar. How you got here? So we know about your went to the thing. You became a thing at the place with the stuff for the people.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden we threw you out there with Matt Dillahunty, and I think that was where the story ended. You were Matt Dillahunty. Everything went dark.
Well, that was just
it went down a hole.
part of the story. Yeah. Yeah. So when, like everybody else, I downloaded TikTok during the panorama, and because I had 4 kids, and suddenly school and daycare was shut down. I had to quit my job so I could stay at home with them. So I was a stay-at-home dad, and just losing my fucking mind. So I was like, let's see what this TikTok thing is all about. And eventually I started making videos. I did like a couple of little skits and videos of my cats. And one day there was a video of a pastor who's like, "Those of you who left the faith, why?" And so I stitched it and did like a minute-long condensed version of. I went to Bible college. I was diehard Christian, and then I went to Bible college, and I learned this, and then I'm an atheist now. That video went viral. I woke up the next morning and had like 65,000 followers or some shit. And I was just like,
Wowzers!
Like, is that the right numbers? And the people kept asking me questions, so I kept making videos, just answering them. And some are 470,000 followers now.
Wow! Yeah.
I got invited to all these shows, and got in touch with scholars, and I was invited to speak at the American Atheist Convention. I'm now the Pennsylvania state rep for them. Fantastic organization. I got invited to California Free Thought Day this past summer. They flew me. I'm in Pennsylvania. They flew me to speak at this. Like, it's fucking wild. Why the fuck do y'all want to talk to me? Yeah. So all the crazy shit happened, and I've just kind of been along for the ride.
DadPool was one of the first few people that I saw making content that really got me thinking. It could have possibly been between DadPool and Crimson Barrel. Yeah, who told me about Ashra, and I was like, wait, what'd you just say? Did you just say that God had a wife? Hold up. And then I went down my dark hole.
Yeah. Very, very fun stuff.
Yeah, it was. And I honestly think that there weren't many people out there on TikTok talking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's what surprised me about TikTok. It's got this reputation of being a children's dancing app, but there's a real hunger for knowledge on it. Like, people ask me like shit tons of questions, some really good questions too. Like, I hadn't done anything with my degree in like years. I hadn't like talked about the Bible in years, like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, people ask me questions like, yeah, I can answer that. You really want to? I can talk about shit.
Yeah.
So I thought my degree was totally useless, but now suddenly I'm like, I get it.
Oh, I love that.
You want me to talk about this? Okay. Yeah. So,
put it to good use.
I was very excited to make those videos and share what I know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
build a community. And DadPool and I even met. We met a whole bunch of TikTok atheists.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We've followed each other for a long time.
Mm-hmm. It's been at least since the entire time I've been on TikTok, basically. So at least 4 years for me.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
I recently created a new TikTok. I was going to take your advice and I created a new TikTok. I dropped the link in the channel. I put 2 videos up there that have got 0 views after a full day, 0 views. So I think it hasn't opened my channel yet up to, I don't know if it's.
The algorithm giveth and the algorithm taketh away.
Yeah. Well, it says, I did look at it and I said, there's what's up with it. And why would get 0 views? I mean, there's 0 views. Why would not, sometimes the algorithm has to at least see it and shill it out there before it can judge you. And it hasn't even done that yet. And some of the interwebs told me it was like, it takes a day from 1 to 6 days after you start a thing now before it'll let you start posting. Or before it'll actually shill it out to people. I don't know. But I posted the link, so if anybody wants to go follow, if you can.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to give it a try again. I want to automate it. That way I can cut my shorts and spread them up to YouTube and to TikTok at the same time. But I don't want to put the effort into it if it's not going to do me any good. Darante has shown that these little top 10s that we do can really be cut up and put up to TikTok and do good. So hopefully I'll get some traction.
And that has been nice.
I'm going to place in the chat, I put DadPool's link to one of his streams coming up. But in case anybody's interested on archive.org, that's my favorites list. So everything in my favorites list is the stuff I've been using to educate myself on deconstruction. Like not deconstruction, like how do you feel about life? I just mean like theories and things like of that nature. So yeah, if you're interested in the Shaddai one, the paper is in my favorites.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Let me get this real quick.
I
want to check our poll and see how our poll is doing. So far, we have got. Usually our polls are funny. I was just busy this morning, so what's the weirdest thing you've heard someone claim as proof of God? And so far, the options I had were you can't explain the complexity of the eye. We can, in fact. Then the second one is
weird because our eyes is like backwards or upside down, right? Like I think we see everything upside down, and our eye has to like correct itself.
Yep.
Something weird like that.
Our eye sees it upside down. Our brain has to transfer it. And then on top of that, our eye did not evolve in air. It evolved in water.
Yeah.
So it has to compensate for that sort of thing too. So there's nerd stuff involved. But we've got lots of different examples of why, which is perfect for you. Nerd heathen, I think is your thing, right? Nerds and heathen. What's your
nerds and heresy? Yeah.
Nerds and heresy. Yes, perfect.
Yes.
But we've got all the examples of all the different types of eye, every stage of it. We got it all. No need, that's done. The next one that really gets. What's that, Darante?
I was just going to say, it's the fallacy of incredulity, right? It's just this idea that because I can't explain something, that something is unexplainable and therefore God. And it's like, there's a few problems here. Number one, if you can't explain something, that doesn't mean other people can't. Everybody else's intelligence doesn't stop at the boundaries of your arrogant ignorance. But then also, if something is not explainable, if that is your premise, that something is not explainable, then you cannot apply God as an explanation. That is a violation of your own premise. Your premise is that there is no explanation. Therefore, God cannot be an explanation for it.
But God.
So the movie can happen.
So the movie can happen.
Gary says, glad I finally realized my deceased mom wasn't watching me during my intimate encounters, especially the solo ones.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that a little release from the brain? One release and another release.
Well, now that I think about it, I'm like, I kind of wish they were watching because I could have charged them all. Like, all right, you're watching me. Where's my money? Where's my money, bro?
They must like it. So at least you're entertained.
I'm providing this service for free. No.
Could you give me a hand? Hello?
Yeah. Oh, a ghost. Oh, man.
A ghost handy? Wow.
Yes.
That's like Beverly Crusher on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I think ghosts.
If you know, you know, right? Sub Rosa. Don't go watch Sub Rosa.
I don't even know what that is.
That's okay. Stay that way.
Okay. I'm safe.
When you, if you're ever, because I know you're probably just sitting around dying to watch TNG. When you get to the episode, says Sub Rosa, just skip it, and you'll be okay. Moving on. I'm sorry. It's this ghost alien nookie time doctor. It's crazy. I mean, even for Star Trek, it ain't right in the head. Awesome. We went there.
Man.
All right, I'm going to real quick. I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to run us. Let's see. I'm going to do a conspirwin. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll be back in just a minute.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
Andy Hall. Thank you, Andy Hall, for that commercial. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, he's the one who either wrote it or did the voice for it. I can't hear it anymore, so I don't know.
Thanks, Andy.
Have you met Andy Hall? Do you guys know Andy Hall?
I do not believe so.
No, he's a comedian, writer, comedian. Yeah,
sweet.
He used to be my co-host on the old Daily Atheist morning show.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You had a life before us.
I know. It's sad. I know.
Yeah.
It was fun though. Now I want to mention that Rion is fixing to go away, and she's going to go get all strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
Yes.
So
pumping up the iron, taking care of my temple as commanded.
Yes, as commanded by the Lord.
Yeah.
And thank you for your news today. Thank you very much for that. I want to. Here's your
eye on these weird pastors, pastor blasters.
I want to, for those of you who missed it this morning, I want to show you Rion created a little intro. I'm going to play it again, even though, yeah, I'm going to play it for the peeps. This is cool.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Yeah, I wish I could have got those in the TVs a little more better, but you know.
There we go. No, that's perfect. We can hear you, and it even dumped you to the right camera and everything this time. I kind of wanted. I was using it as a guinea pig.
I hope you guys like it.
Yes, she sent me a message on Discord going, "Hey, can I have your logo?" I'm like, "Uh oh."
What I do?
Yeah, I guess.
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, I was like, well, she's like, "This is what he looks like. This guy right here."
I put it on Craigslist.
There you go. Oh, hey, cool. I should have done that. So yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you for that. So we're going to run that. That's a challenge been dropped to Darante.
Yeah,
so
Darante, come on now.
His scripture thing
Bible script for the day. You need a little intro for it.
We need a little intro. We turned him on to DaVinci Resolve, and oh my goodness, this guy is just going wild.
You turned him on, and now he's excited.
Before we go, because you're going to have to go, I'm going to let you go, and then we'll finish up with Ricky here, because he's over there sad and alone.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do your end thing. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us today. And we'll, of course, you'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, all my apostates in the chat here. It was great to see you. Waking up, starting my day with a smile and a great conversation is always a wonderful way to start your day. DadPool, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you. I hope we can see you here back again and to see a top 10 video from you very soon. So make sure y'all subscribe and go watch his, well, obviously watch his content, but make sure you click the bell so that way you are able to watch his live stream that's coming up soon. Okay?
Yes.
I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Ryan. Thank you.
Bye.
Hang out with you again.
All right.
And
See how I made that
delivery.
switch? I made that switch and it's all fancy. That's cool. I'm a Wile E. Coyote kind of nerd. You know, Ricky, you have no idea. you may have an idea, but the effort and nerding that has gone in to make this show technically what it is now has just been. Yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah, it's working though. It works. It works. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us today and having fun with us. It's a little more lighthearted than most of the shows you'll find on the interwebs, and that's on purpose.
Yeah, I like it. It's good to just join a stream and chat and, misbehave.
Yeah, have a little bit of fun. Well, of course, we, getting to know you, getting to know people in the community, spreading the word. Creator Spotlight. I even renamed this one, the name of the stream, to Creator Spotlight. And because there's so many creators out there who do this sort of thing and whose voice, I mean, no offense, I had never heard of you. And you've got such a following over there on TikTok and here on YouTube. And I just never, and you know why? That's because you're not out, you're not working. You're not dropping content. You're lazy. You're a slacker.
I don't promote myself very well.
You don't promote. That's right. And well, coming soon, we'll have Father Flanagan's line of self-flogging whips that you can use to help motivate you. Raven Lunatic, Raven Lunatic gave a $5 super chat. Said, "When Ryan hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's the Darante. When DadPool seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's a Darante."
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
I know. Raven just is fantastic and mean. He'll call up or he'll do a super chat and have me say things like, "Darante, you're the best. You're the funniest," because everybody knows I'm the funny one. Everybody knows that. But Raven makes me lie to the people. He pays me to lie to the people. And, I'm cheap. So before we get going on, tell us about what you have going on coming up, if you don't mind. What's your next plans of Doom and Despair?
Yeah, coming up on the 2nd, I'm doing a debate. I haven't done a debate in a while.
Who are you debating?
I forget his name, but it's going to be on History Valley. It'll be on my channel too. But Jacob Berman, the host of History Valley, is going to be moderating. He invited me to do it. And the guy is arguing, the topic is whether Jesus died on the cross or not. And the guy wrote a book arguing that Jesus didn't actually die on the cross and he survived. I'm going to be arguing that that's bullshit. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Other than that, I don't have anything else planned, I don't think.
Okay, well, we'll have to drag you back on the show, of course. Darante has a live stream. Lots of people. We got a community here, and part of what we're doing is we're really helping people build their own channel. That's kind of what we do here. So glad to help you do some of that as much as we can.
Thank you.
One of the things, let's see, I had somebody had something up here. Darante, there's links for your channel. Darante is the funny one. Right-handed Sith is just mean. Yeah, I think I missed something there. There we go. Let me get that out of the way. So with any luck, hopefully you'll be back on the show. We've got other streams, other things. Yeah. This is it. I got you.
Who?
I've said this before, as it started out as a joke, but upon further thought, and this is about what your debate's about, your coming debate. Okay, so I've said that Jesus was up on the cross, that because all the rest of them, they normally leave them there until they died. But in Jesus's case, they gave him a little stab, then they pulled him down off the cross alive, took him, tried to heal him. A few of his other followers saw him a couple of days and like, hey, because he was so messed up from being all abused and whatnot. He was swollen and, you know, getting all fuckered up, because as you would, right, without proper medication and medical attention. And so he's all messed up and he's like, oh man, look, I even got the holes in my hands. They're like, okay, I guess that's you, because you know how your face would be after being all fuckered up like that. And then after a couple of days, he succumbed to his infections and died, or rose heavily bodily into heaven or whatever, you know. And I think the idea that was why they pulled him off the cross, that's why they stabbed him. It could have just, it didn't have to be all that deep, just a tiny little boop, and then pull him down and throw him over there. And that way they can try to make all these things. I don't know that I believe it. I mean, it's more probable than Jesus was actually God, or God involved, you know, God and, you know, interaction at all. But what are your thoughts?
I think, and I can go into excruciating detail. I don't think Jesus was buried at all. Bodies were left up on the cross to be picked apart by scavengers. We have tons of accounts of this.
Yes.
Birds, dogs would eat your body and there would be nothing left. Or there may be some like scraps left. And what would happen is family members would come and gather what's left of you and put you in and bury you in a mass grave, or the Romans would throw the rest of you in a mass grave. And the family members would come and try and find your body in the mass grave, or trying to identify you. Very, very rare exceptions were you buried in a tomb after being crucified. You had to have been a Roman aristocrat, basically, or a Roman soldier. And it had to be requested, your body had to be requested by a family member. And even then, that would have to be granted to you. Like, so Jesus was obviously neither of those things. He was just a poor Jewish guy. Pontius Pilate fucking hated the Jews. He hated him. He was the only Roman governor that was impeached and removed from office because of how harshly he treated the Jews.
Yeah.
Wow. So the idea that this Joseph of Arimathea guy, which is also a big problem because he's not related to Jesus, he's just supposedly a rich guy, asking Pilate for Jesus' body, and Pilate saying yes. Chances of that happening are zilch, I think. It's most likely that, his body was just treated like everybody else who was crucified. And then his followers started having like maybe bereavement-induced hallucinations, or they saw something, or because it really only started with like 2 or 3 people, like Jesus' brother, and then Peter, and James, or Jesus' brother James and Peter. And they were like, I saw Jesus. And he was like, yeah, I saw him too. You guys. And folks like, yeah,
I saw him first.
He appeared to me too. Wow, that's crazy. So I think that's what happened.
Man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've heard the apologetics that the reason why they pulled him off the cross instead of leaving him up there was because it would rile up his followers. The Jews would rise up. They'd be upset. But, you know, here's my logic and thinking on that is that the Jews denied him.
Yeah.
The Jews in power they denied him. It was because of their word that he was up there.
Yeah.
His tiny little followers. I don't really think the Roman detachment would be terribly concerned about his tiny little group of followers.
No.
I mean, I think that's a piss poor reason why they should allow him to be why they should allow him to be stabbed, killed, and pulled off the thing.
Well, that's the thing too, is there's other like messianic figures or doomsday preachers, if you will, around the time of Jesus that were also killed. And usually their followers were killed with them. They'd send the army out and just kill the guy and kill as many of the followers as they could. If they were causing a problem in Rome, because the Roman governor's number one job was to keep the peace. So if you have these preachers who are speaking out against Rome or saying like God's going to come and destroy Rome, you're going to cause problems for yourself. So usually the Roman governor will just send an army to kill you and your followers because you're disturbing the peace. So Jesus' followers probably scattered like when Jesus died because they knew they'd probably be killed with him.
Absolutely.
That's why they're all hiding in a house, supposedly. That Jesus was with them.
Wow.
They weren't traveling after that. They were hiding.
Interesting. One of the things I hear is that Jesus gave himself up willingly at Gethsemane, and one of my things about that was, did he though? I mean, it was one of those situations where you either go with us or you die here.
Exactly.
And everybody here who is with you is going to die too. So you can either go with us now, or all of you and your followers are going to die right here. That's the situation. It wasn't a really sacrifice. He didn't give himself up willingly. He was caught and given the option. They were, I mean, I don't really see it.
I mean, literally betrayed,
Yeah. And he had to be betrayed and all these things. I did a top 10s video because that's kind of what we do. It was actually on the top 10 reasons why Jesus was not sacrificed for your sins. He was executed. You got prayers are involved and ritual is involved. A priest is supposed to be involved. Who were the people who did the executing or the sacrificing of Jesus? It wasn't priests, it was Roman soldiers. Were they sacrificing him to a god? No, they were sacrificing him for claiming to be a king within Roman territory. There's so many reasons why he was not sacrificed at all.
Yep.
And yet, all right, so his messenger is here. His messenger, if you're paying attention, why? Can you explain how, despite all the points we've made, Jesus is still sacrificed? They'll go on with Jesus he was the preacher. He was the one who is there has to be a preacher, involved before. So, all right, well, if Jesus was the preacher, then he's just given himself to himself, and that's not a sacrifice.
It's not.
I mean, to sacrifice this cup of coffee is to pour it out onto the ground and nobody gets to enjoy it. But for me to just pour it from one cup to another and then drink it, that's not a sacrifice.
And then just on top of that, it's not a position of power to have to kill your son. And that's where this imagery comes from. To have to, if you have to sacrifice your child, mythologically, that's typically you sacrificing your child to a god to get that god on your behalf. Kings also did the same thing when they lost a battle. They would have to sacrifice their child to the other kingdom. Many times that child would be raised up in that other kingdom. So there is no scenario where you having to kill your child equals you being all powerful or all loving. No scenario.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy how the priest said God is all knowing, all powerful, all loving. But he has to make this crazy system that has to happen in order for him to forgive your sins.
That's wild.
Well, then he's not all powerful, or you can't have your cake and eat it too. Here,
I can just forgive people. I can just be like, I forgive you. And God has to be like, I can't do it unless we kill a goat or my kid. We got to do one or the other. We either got to kill a goat or my kid.
Yeah. Yep. Or somebody in modern day today, if you were to rock down the Walmart parking lot, because that's how we do it, and we were to take Ricky, and we're like, everybody here in this audience, what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice Ricky now for your sins, and you're all going to go to heaven because we're sacrificing Ricky, right? And how far do you think that would go?
Man,
do you think they would let that happen? Do you think the Christians, let's go to a Christian parking lot, big Christian, we could take their pastor.
We'll sacrifice them now and you can all get in.
There you go. All of you get in, right? Everybody on the whole world. You don't have to do it. Wait. You still have to do stuff though.
Man, the more I think about heaven, it's just not a place I'd ever want to go to. And like, I have this conspiracy theory that God eats people in heaven. That's my conspiracy theory. I'm sticking to it. You know, he's eating people, you know, because he says you got to be hot or cold, you know, and if you're lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. And then Jesus says, you know, that there's no, oh no, the Revelation says there's no eating or drinking. There's no hunger or thirst in heaven. But Jesus said it's a big banquet. And I was like, damn it, we're on the menu. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're onto something.
Right?
I am going to real quick here. I'm going to read our fan funding. Thank you, all of our fans, for the support today.
Ooh, I love that.
For $5, Raven Lunatic, now the 4th best mustache on the show. Darante, Ricky, Ollie, and then me. Love having the new people on the show. I'm glad he didn't mention the evil one. She'd be mad. Did you make a mustache a joke about me today? I'm like, no, I did not. I did not. Deconstruction Zone Justin gave $5 and said, rumor has it God kicked Darante out of the kingdom because he was jealous over his voice. I know, right?
Good one.
It happens. It happens.
Raven Lunatic for $5 said, Chris, are you getting Darante's name on the screen wrong on purpose? Yeah. Got it spelled Darante.
I think he was. I think he was, like Raven.
Sounds like some kind of chips, doesn't it? Darante chips.
Well, speaking of chips, some people used to mispronounce my name as Dorito. That has happened.
Wow,
that has
cool.
happened.
So also, shouldn't Chris be spelt unfunny? Ouch, I didn't even see that earlier. Oh, stab me in the heart, Raven.
Savage.
Man. I mean, right? Let me go get some aloe to rub on my groin. Deconstruction Zone Justin said, Cucker Tarleson, lace those nicotine pouches. Yes. We actually have a viewer who used to be a regular in the stream. I don't know what happened, unless he changed his name. Went by Cucker Tarleson. Haven't seen Cucker Tarleson in quite a while.
Oh, that is brilliant.
We actually had somebody, somebody went by that. Ben 9 Live says, great show. Onward, heathen soldiers. Thank you for the $5 super chat on that. Onward. Raven Lunatic said, don't worry, Darante, in the middle of the night, that thing under your bed is just Chris.
I always knew it.
For $5. I know. It was the smell, huh? Yeah. For $5, Deconstruction Zone said, Yahweh has very sensitive skin, explains his allergies to yeast, mixed fabric, and iron. I didn't even kind of catch the yeast thing, the unleavened bread, right? Is that what makes it unleavened? Yeah. Yeah. So,
oh man!
And then, of course, for $5, Raven Lunatic said, "When Ryan, I don't think the first part works. When Ryan hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Darante. When DadPool seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's Darante." See, they don't have to pay me to sing. I'll sing anyway, even after. That was awesome, man. Raven. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the $5 super chats. Thank you all for the fan funding. Thank you, Ricky, for joining us today on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Putting up with us. And we didn't taser you or anything. We were nice. Ryan says, Chris has the Pharaoh's curse. I do not, because I wore a Pharaoh sombrero. I did. Okay, guys, I am off to save the world. Thank you both. Thank you, Darante, for joining us. Thank you, Ryan, for being here. And thank you, Ricky. Ryan's listening. She's in traffic. She's listening to us.
Yeah,
she's talking us from afar. Thank you, Ryan.
Awesome.
And thank you, Rick. Thank you, Ricky, for joining us. All you wonderful people. Have a wonderful day and send safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plain. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I peed. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me.